Everyone seems afraid to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. When they say smaller features, they really mean a small nose. Think about it. Big eyes are often called bedroom eyes, right? And even when you watch makeup tutorial, you'll often hear professional makeup artists say, let's do the wing liner this way, you guys, because that will open the eyes, or let's put on some lashes because they will open the eyes, right? So clearly big eyes are viewed as a desirable trait in society, reason why again people will often depict them as bedroom eyes. And the same applies to fuller lips, you guys, right? For the longest time I know that people would say that big full lips are ugly, but note how as soon as injections, lip filler became a thing, then everybody now is getting lip filler. Like girls would get lip filler and they would still overdraw their lips. That's how much everyone want to have super full lips. So clearly full lips are viewed as a desirable trait. People will often talk about them and say that they are sexy, kissable, or whatever other adjective people will use in order to describe them. So clearly lips and eyes are not the problem here. So what do people mean when they say, oh my god, she's so pretty, you know, she has like smaller features? What they really mean and are afraid to say is that she has a smaller nose. Okay, sometimes people will say she has keen features, which is my personal favorite, right? People will say, oh, people from Ethiopia have keen features, and I'm in a perfect position to talk about them, you guys, because I live in a country that have a very high Ethiopian and Eritrean population. I live in Germany, and if you know anything about Germany, you know that Germany has given asylum to a lot of Ethiopian and Eritrean people. I would say that Germany is probably the country that has the highest, or one of the countries that has the highest population of Ethiopian and Eritrean people. So I see them all the time. I see them every day. Okay, I do not leave my house every day, but every second day when I leave my house, I am bound to bump into a Eritrean or Ethiopian person, and I can tell you for certain that they do not have smaller eyes and they do not have smaller lips. Now they may not have lips that are as full as mine, but they don't have paper thin lips like Caucasian people. Okay, the one thing that they tend to have in general, of course not all of them, is a more pointy nose. So I guess that what people are referring to when they say that they have keener features, really what they mean is that they have a keener nose, you guys. And now what I'm about to say is a personal opinion. It's not something that I have proved that is true, but it is my personal, remember you guys, this is an opinion based channel, okay? It is my personal opinion that the reason why big noses or bulbous noses are hated on so much is because it's not something that is easily attainable by surgery. Remember how bigger fuller lips were hated on before lip injections, lip filler became a thing, right? Also remember how having a bigger Botox was also something that was hated on before BBL became a thing, right? Anybody who have a fuller upper back will tell you that back in the days people would mock women for having, you know, a bigger something going on down there. People would mock them in paintings, like people would depict them in a way that is cartoonish and make fun of, you know, their butts. But nowadays, because BBLs are a thing, like ever since Kim Kardashian and her sisters got the BBL, then having a big, you know, arse is something that a lot of people are excited about. Like women would go to the gym, spend hours upon hours upon hours lifting in order to get that shape, you know, that Coca-Cola bottle shape, you know, the same shape that they used to mock on black women back in the day. So it is my personal belief that the reason why these features were hated on so much is because they were not easily attainable through surgery. And I feel that is also the reason why big noses or bulbous noses are hated on so much, because it's not something that is easily attainable per surgery. You know, surgery is easiest when you remove, right? If you're trying to get your nose to be smaller, that is an easier thing for surgeon to do. Like they can just cut and throw away, right? But when it comes to adding on, that is always a little bit harder. So in order for people to make their nose, or in order for surgeons rather, sorry, to make the nose of people bigger, they would have to first find skin somewhere in the area of, you know, the body of the person where people wouldn't see or that wouldn't be harmful, and then they would have to add it onto the nose. And it's just sounds to me like a hustle, you guys, like something that's very complex and difficult to do. And that is, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why people hate so much on bigger noses. But I feel like the day is going to be easily attainable to make your nose bigger through surgery. I do feel like bigger noses are not going to be hated on as much as they are today. I'm not saying that they're going to become the norm or the standard of beauty, but I do feel like it will be something that is going to be a little less hated on. But yeah, you guys, like, I'm not lying. When people say smaller features, what they really mean is a smaller nose. If you think of all the women in the world that was viewed as, deemed as, perceived as the most beautiful, they all had a smaller nose, and that was usually the only feature that really was small about their face. Okay, I want you to think about Marilyn Monroe. Yes, let's go back to that time. Okay, let's go that back further because I got time today. Okay, Marilyn Monroe was probably one of the first, you know, icon of beauty among Caucasian women. She was viewed as somebody who was very, very, you know, glamorous back in the days and pretty. And when you look at Marilyn, Marilyn didn't have smaller eyes, she didn't have smaller lips. Okay, so the only feature that was tiny, I guess, about her face was or is her nose. So clearly this is the problem to many people. And there's also Angelina Jolie. Now Angelina Jolie is viewed as one of the most beautiful Caucasian women out there, and again, Angelina has very, very full lips, and she has huge, in my opinion, she has very, very, very beautiful eyes. Okay, I'm in awe of her eyes. Like, that's something that always fascinated me about her. Now let's get into dark-skinned black women that are viewed as the most beautiful. We're going to begin with Kelly Rowland here, and as you can see, Kelly doesn't have smaller lips. She has quite full lips. She also doesn't have the smallest eyes, and yeah, and still she's still using, you know, things to make her eyes look bigger. You can see here that she's wearing lash extensions in order to make her, you know, eyes look bigger, in order to open her eyes, right? And everybody knows that Kelly did get a nose job. And then after her, we can look at Justine Skye, again viewed as very pretty by many. Again, look at her lips, right? Are there any small, like, are these smaller features? Is this smaller lips? No, it's not. Okay, after her we can look at Ryan Destiny. You guys, there's a pattern here. Okay, Ryan has very, very nice lips. As you can see, she doesn't have the smallest eyes either, and she's also using extensions, lash extensions, in order to make her eyes look bigger. Last but not least, let's have a look at Naomi Campbell. Again, you guys, the same thing is going on here. Naomi is wearing lash extensions, or is it mascara? I don't know, but she also has quite full lips. So clearly there are no smaller features going on here, you guys. And then let's look at women who are deemed as brown skin. A lot of them are really dark skin to me, but I know society views them as brown skin women, so I'm going to stick to that. Let's start off with Kyla Nicole. Where are the small features, you guys? I really want to know. I mean, look at Kyla's lips. Like, people are really full of it, and I kind of hate that because I'm a no-nonsense type person. Like, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Like, I'm no bullish type of person, so I wish people would just say what they mean and mean what they say. After her, we can have a look at Ciara, who is one of the most gorgeous women on earth to me. And again, as you can see, Ciara has quite full lips and quite big, beautiful bedroom eyes. We can have a look at Tiana Taylor, who is known for having had several nose jobs, and as you can see, she also doesn't have the smallest eyes in the world, even though she's wearing lash extensions in order to make her eyes look even bigger, open her eyes even more. She also has very full lips, so clearly she doesn't have smaller features. We can go on and talk about light-skinned women who are viewed as very, very pretty. So let's start with Queen Bey, who in my opinion is very, very pretty, and as you can see, very, very full lips, you know, eyes that aren't the smallest, and again wearing lash extensions in order to open her regard and, you know, have her eyes look even bigger than they naturally are. We can move on to Tyla. You know, what a girl, Tyla, who is very, very cute in my opinion. I actually personally think that Tyla is very, very pretty, and she has very big eyes. And look at the wing liner, you guys, right? The placement of it is so strategic. Like, it's really made in order to open her eyes, in order to make her eyes that are already quite big, in my opinion, look even bigger. Okay, and then we can have a look at Halle Berry, who again, in my opinion, is gorge. Okay, Halle Berry is extremely pretty to me, probably one of the most beautiful women out there. You know, even with age, like Halle's out here aging like fine, fine wine. Like, she looked amazing as she's aging. Like, I really hope to age half as good as she is. And you can see Halle has very big eyes, very full lips. She also allegedly, I'm going to use allegedly for the video, but it's not really alleged, she did have a little something done to her nose. So I could go on and on, you guys, and present you with so many other women, but honestly that would just make the video redundant. I think I already made and proved my point. Okay, so when people say she has smaller features, she has skin features, she's so pretty, what they really mean is that the person they're talking about has a smaller nose. And I wish people would just, you know, say it with their chest. Just say what you mean and mean what you say, girl. Okay, anyways, if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. In the comment section down below, let me know, why do you think that people are so afraid to say what they mean and mean what they say, and say stuff like smaller features or keen features, which is my personal favorite, right? And by favorite, I mean I hate it. Do not forget to become a member as well, so you don't miss the live, as well as subscribing to my channel. We're on the road to 3K, you guys, so please help me get there. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Mwah.